we will not have an FTA, but we will have a TPP, which is an excellent platform for a huge market.
Yeah.
How is this process coming along? The talks are now at what stage?
Yeah. Well, we're in the early stages of a very aggressive negotiating timetable with the goal of agreeing to a framework agreement in November at the APEC summit. This is an interesting, different sort of negotiation because it's multilateral, as you said, 9 countries, important economies, Malaysia being the most significant economy in Southeast Asia. But it's self-selecting. So as we go through the process, if some country says, you know what, in the end, I'm not really there for round 1, it's okay. The other countries, 8, 7 countries, can move ahead. I think, it's too early to tell what will come after, but I think there are other countries that are not involved in this 9-country negotiation who are very interested in how this turns out. I think what it will do for Malaysia and the United States is a great complementarity between our markets. It'll develop and grow the sense that Malaysia is open for business in areas, and it'll, I think, attract even further foreign investment here.
I know you don't generally get into discussions on this issue, Wikileaks, but I'll ask you, there's said to be about 1,000 secret diplomatic cables related to Malaysia, some of which have already been published. Can you explain the difference between these cables and official U.S. policy?
Well, first of all, let me say, our view, as I hope has been understood, is that WikiLeaks is not about freedom of media or government transparency. It's about stolen property. Just like a business, just like a law firm, just like your own doctor has confidential information that you don't necessarily want shared with everyone. This is the kind of information that we believe it should be protected. The interesting story, as you alluded about the whole WikiLeaks saga, is that it hasn't exposed that there's any difference between what the United States stands for publicly and what we're talking about privately. What it does when you release cables like that is, it gets into very detailed conversations that can be awkward because some things you'll say in a private conversation that you don't really put that way in a public conversation because other people may not understand it properly. But I don't think you're going to see anything, even if additional cables come out from anywhere in the world. I don't think you're going to see any great conspiracy story, because what we speak about publicly is what we're doing privately. It's just we have confidential channels of conversation so that we can be very honest and frank with each other.
As the chief U.S. diplomat here, how do you respond to former Ambassador John Mallott's scathing criticisms of Malaysia in his recent Asian Wall Street Journal commentary?
Well, John Malott is a private citizen. He's welcome to his views, just like any private citizen is. I don't think it's really my role here to comment on his views, just as I don't comment on every private citizen's views of sort of internal politics in Malaysia. What I'm here to do is to build the relationship between our countries and our peoples, and that's what I'm focused on.
Finally, Ambassador, this is the USD billion-dollar question. Will President Obama step off that plane here?
I would love it, and I can tell you when I met with President Obama, Malaysia, he's very much aware and interested in Malaysia. The schedules of our leaders are always difficult and always challenging, so I'm not going to make any predictions. But I will say that clearly there's a great interest in Washington from President Biden, President Obama, Vice President Biden, Secretary Clinton, and other members of the cabinet in Southeast Asia, and in the progress that the relationship with Malaysia is making in ways that really benefit our people. So there's interest there. I can't predict.
Well, thank you, Ambassador Jones, for your visit to Manila Star and for your time with us. We wish you all the best in your tenure here. And I would like to close with the words of Secretary Clinton in Kuala Lumpur: Malaysia, America Boleh.
Malaysia, America Boleh. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you.
It was really terrific. I appreciate it.